Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm Natalie Herbeck, and today's road trip takes us south to beautiful wine country in Yadkin Valley, North Carolina. There are more than 40 wineries down here. We're mainly going to focus our attention on Surry County, but it's not just about the wineries. Andy Griffith, birthplace right here in Mount Airy, so we're going to visit his hometown and try some food that you will not find in Cleveland. And if you have an adventurous side, we have some things for you to do as well. But we are going to first start here at Herrera Vineyards, where we are at one of the newest additions in Yadkin Valley. There are plenty of beautiful places to sit when you come to Herrera Vineyards, but I picked outside because it's just absolutely gorgeous with the vineyard overlooking Manny. It's just stunning here, and I know it's pretty new.
Yeah, we've only been open for a month and a half. May 28th was our official opening date, and as you said, it's an absolutely beautiful property, especially in the summertime. And I expect the fall will be even better when the weather cools down a little bit and it becomes a very nice place to be outside.
I know there are over 40 wineries throughout Yadkin Valley.
Yeah.
So why do you think when Clevelanders come down here, they're going to want to come and stop here?
Well, we have a lot to offer here at Herrera Vineyards. As you said, it's a beautiful view. We are one of the vineyards who actually have the vineyard on property. So we have the winery, the vineyard, everything is on the same property. We also do have the restaurant that you alluded to earlier. We have a beautiful location just right outside of Dobson, easy to get to, right off Highway 601, so the access roads, major interstates are very close by, so you can reach us within 10 minutes of the Highway 74, Interstate 77.
Oh, you sold this place, that's for sure. How many different varieties of wine or grapes do you have here?
We have 5 varietals. We grow Malbec and Tannat, which is another reason that would be a good place to visit. We're one of the very few wineries in the United States who grow those because they're South American varietals generally. Chile and Argentina and Uruguay is where you'll find those for the most part, but we're growing those here in Surry County. And then in addition to that, we grow the muscadines, which are a native vine to North Carolina, so they grow very well, and then Riesling grapes. So we have a little something for everybody.
So you have paired for us today some of the delicious appetizers that they offer here with some great wine. So let's start with the red wine. Which wine is this?
This is actually our newest red wine. It's a Solera. It's actually a blend of our Malbec and Tannat. So it's something that's been aged for multiple years now. It just has a very good, complex, well-rounded red.
It's delicious. And you've paired it with this plate here?
Yes, it's something unique that we do. It's fried macaroni and cheese balls.
Oh, so, I did not know what that was inside of there. You know what that means. I got to cut this open. Fried macaroni and cheese balls?
Absolutely. It's a little a take on a classic meal. The macaroni and cheese is a Southern classic, and we decided to switch it up a little bit. Make that a fried macaroni and cheese ball, a little marinara sauce.
You dip it in the marinara sauce?
Yeah.
And then you have a little bit of this red wine with it, and you're good to go.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love the sound of this. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bite of this. I want you to move on to that second dish.
Sure. This is something else that's kind of unique that we offer. Thai chili duck wings. So a little sweet, little spice.
You knew what I like to eat.
Yeah.
These would probably be two of the things I would definitely order on the menu. So Thai chili duck wings.
Yeah, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of spice. Different from your normal chicken wings, that kind of thing you're gonna find. So they're actually a little bit larger, but I'm a huge duck fan. But generally you'll find duck, a grilled duck breast, that kind of meal. But we decided to do something a little different here.
Wow, you could not leave here without getting that. Wow.
And it's also paired with a sushi cake.
That is delicious. Oh, I could lick my fingers, but I won't right now because that's totally inappropriate. Did I ask you about the wine? I'm so excited about this.
No, we'll touch on this wine because it is actually our best seller. It is our dry Riesling, and at the North Carolina State Fair last year, it was voted the best overall commercial white in North Carolina.
That is a great pairing.
Yeah.
Something else that's really unique to you guys, I've heard that you have the bottled sangria here?
Yeah, absolutely. We were one of the first in the Yadkin Valley to bottle a sangria, and we started with a red sangria 2 years ago, and we've actually now begun to make a white sangria as well. Both of those are bottled. They're 100% legit wines, and then we add sangria flavorings and such to it. And so that's something that's unique here. And in addition to the sangrias themselves in bottle, we also do that in a slushy form. So for this outdoor patio area on a nice hot summer day, you can't beat a sangria slushy.
Well, flying or driving, I know you can ship them back, but I think we've just given you a lot more reasons why you should drive down here so that you could drive all this great stuff back when you pick it up, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Manny. We're moving now to the town of Mount Airy. It might remind you of Mayberry from the Andy Griffith Show, and that's because this is where Andy Griffith grew up. And he used to eat lunch right here at Snappy Lunch all of the time. There's a line outside. It's like this every day, so we have to figure out why. Let's go in. Well, the kitchen is busy, and that's just one of the stoves that you got going. There's a whole kitchen back there. Mary, this place is awesome. Is it always this busy?
Not always, but summertime is our busiest season.
You have a line outside.
We do. Saturdays and Fridays are even longer lines, yeah.
So one of the things that stand out as soon as you come here is you look at the menu, and some of the options on the menu are things that you don't just find anywhere.
No.
Including this pork chop sandwich that you're gonna mix up for us here, whip up for us.
Right.
We pulled it out of the kitchen because it is just that busy. So let's get to it. Let's start making this.
All right, we start with our bun, which we normally warm the buns, you know, and I like to put mustard, but we have this set up in the back, so you put your mustard.
How long has this been on the menu?
Since 1960 something, I think.
So Andy Griffith, did he ever get this?
No, Andy ate hot dogs.
He ate the hot dogs?
Hot dogs and bologna sandwiches, yes. Then you go with your pork chop sandwich, which is a 3.5 ounce pork tenderloin. We slice them every day. We cube them, and we make our own batter every day, which consists of eggs, flour, plain flour. It has to be plain flour, and
why does it do plain flour?
I don't know. It's something about it.
It just works.
You have to use plain flour. And we put the chili. This is our homemade chili. Can't tell you the secret on that. No.
Okay.
We cover it with the chili, homemade chili. Then our slaw, we make that every day. Oh, this is cabbage, cabbage, green pepper, carrots, a little vinegar and sugar. And that's our slaw.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't get this one, because this is what I would get if I came here, that's for sure.
90% of the people eat pork chop sandwich. Put our onions, and then a slice of tomato. And there is your pork chop
there you have it.
There you go.
How many of these do you think you go through a day?
200 or 300 maybe.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we do. We're only open we serve breakfast from 6 a.m. until 10:30. We start lunch about 10 o'clock. We serve lunch from 10, so we close fairly early.
Now, how long? This place has been established since
1923.
1923.
Yes.
So Andy came here when he was a little boy.
Yeah, when he was a little boy, he came. Yeah, but he ate hot dogs, I think. Yeah.
Wait, did he? No, so he didn't eat either one of these. We have here too. These are
They had breaded hamburgers.
Now, I came in here and I looked at your menu and I thought to myself, what is a breaded hamburger?
Right.
So what is a breaded hamburger?
Breaded hamburger. It has bread in it in the ground beef. And they called it a dough burger, a depression burger.
This is the other unique option on the menu.
Ground steak.
Ground
yes.
steak, which, what is that? Is it like a sloppy Joe type of thing?
Well, sort of, yes. We use the ground beef and we put a little flour, salt, and pepper in it, put it on the grill, cook it. And then you put a little water in it, and there you have ground steak.
There's so many must-stops for sure right on the main drag here in the town of Mayberry, but you gotta make sure you come here to have lunch.
Thank you, yes, thank you.
It's a must-stop.
We have a lot of tourists, and a lot of people from Ohio come.
Snappy Lunch, you won't forget that name. And hey, there is plenty more to see here in Mount Airy, and we're gonna continue discovering it after the break. Welcome back. Mount Airy is the birthplace of Andy Griffith, so it is no wonder that they have an entire museum dedicated to him. Now, we always say the phrase, if only the walls could talk, right? Well, today they can. Why? Because I have Betty Lynn with me, who you know as Thelma Lou from the Andy Griffith Show. It is so good. I'm honored to be sitting next to you right now.
I'm honored to be with you too, Natalie. Thank you.
Now, they're walking into this museum and seeing this show and all the dedication towards it and the people that come in here. How does that make you feel?
Happy as I can be. They're so good to me. They all stand for hours in a line and they smile at me. And I feel so sorry they're standing so long, but they say, but it's worth it. Some of them can come up with some of the lines from the show that I couldn't do. I mean, better. Children even will come with their grandparents or their parents, and they do some of my dialogue, and they're so cute. And they're great doing it, you know.
Why do you think it had such success?
I think they had great writers, for one thing, and wonderful actors. Everybody on that show was wonderful to work with. When you'd look in their eyes, you believed them, you know? Where that isn't always the case. You work with people that are kind of blank, but it comes off all right, but it isn't the same. And I loved, every time I'd get a call for that show, I'd be so thrilled. I couldn't get there fast enough. And we'd read the script and I'd laugh. And it would be so funny. But after that, it's serious.
Sure.
Get it on its feet, put the script in your hand. Next day we shoot. All you young people out there who want to be actors, it's not all great, I can tell you. Not all of it. But most, now and then you get a show like the Andy Griffith Show, and you're so grateful because the people are terrific. And I loved Andy, I loved Don, and they loved each other.
Who was the biggest jokester on the set? Was it one of those two, or was it some of the ladies?
Don was never a jokester. He was
wasn't?
a quiet little man, nothing
Really?
like Barney Fife.
Really?
No, nothing like Barney. But he was sweet as he could be. And Andy adored Don, he really did. They were like brothers, and Don told me there wasn't a day went by that they weren't in touch. And that's really great, I think. I'm so thrilled that I had a chance to be with both of them. And, well, I would say Andy was more of a tease.
More of the tease.
Yeah, he was a tease.
You're not just seeing things from the Andy Griffith Show here, you're seeing things from all areas of his life and his acting career.
Right, everything was collected by Emmett Forrest, who had grown up with him. And he collected all these things, and they're really wonderful. I mean, I got a little bit of the tour, first time, because I never have time. I had relatives visiting me from Tulsa, my cousin Pat and her daughter Carrie, and so they wanted to go on the tour, and I wanted them to. So I got a little bit of the tour for the very first time this past week. And I was fascinated. And then we got to one thing, a picture that I wanted to see a little more of, and I kept saying, wait a minute, I don't want to move yet, wait a minute. They were behind me.
There are so many wonderful pictures of you here, the iconic picture of you kissing Don Watts on the cheek. And then there's one with you and Andy as well.
Oh yeah, there's some great pictures. And Andy
What's your
had a
favorite
big
piece of
career.
memorabilia that's here? Could you pick one?
Oh, I couldn't pick one. It's
No.
like people say, what's your favorite show which one of the shows was your favorite? I can't. It's like picking a child out. Which is your favorite baby? No.
You can't do it.
No, I loved so many. I watch it all the time. People don't believe that.
You still
But,
watch it all the time?
Are you kidding? It's a joy to watch, and I laugh. Even when I did the tour, there were moments I caught a little bit of a scene, and I start laughing, and I said, see, it hits me. I laugh so
It
hard.
still hits you to this day.
I love it.
You're a big part of the reason why this has continued its success here, this museum. Why did you move back to Mount Airy? I know you were out west. Why did you come here, and how does it feel to be here?
People say, well, it's nice you moved back. I never lived here until I moved here. It'll be 8 years in January. I think God just put me here because I am so happy. Everybody's so good to me. I go to the grocery store, they all come. I say, are you Thelma Lou? I say, yes, I am. And they hug me and kiss me, and you have no idea.
So you'll
I'm
answer
an
to
old-
Thelma Lou or Betty Lynn?
Oh, anything. You can call me anything. I don't mind. But Thelma Lou, mostly they call me Thelma Lou. Most people don't know my real name.
When are you here so that you can sign
The
autographs?
third
before-
Friday of the month. I'm here from about 12:30, and as long as I can stay, I try to stay right to the last, but you know, sometimes I have to get home a little sooner, but mostly I'm here till almost 5. Yeah.
You are just a blessing,
Oh,
and I know
thank you,
everybody in
Natalie.
town just loves you so
Yeah.
much.
Would you remember to tell everybody in Cleveland the first time I sang was on WHK when I was 14 on radio? Yeah, that's
you
when radio
believe it?
was really popular before TV.
That
But,
is
yeah.
remarkable.
So tell everybody hi in Cleveland.
Well, they're hearing it right now.
You
so
bet.
come check out the Andy Griffith Museum. You will see some of your memorabilia in here as well.
Yes.
Everywhere you look, there's something that's going to remind you of that great show. So nice to meet you, Betty Lynn.
Great
Thank
to
you
meet
so much.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure, honey. You're adorable.
So sweet. You are. You are.
We like each other, that's all.
I mentioned that this is the birthplace of Andy Griffith. Well, this is his home. We are here where he used to live, and now you can stay here too. So let's head inside. It's so authentic inside. They even have the birth certificate of Andy Griffith up here on the wall. And Lanice here, you're gonna give us the grand tour
Okay.
of the house. Sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
Okay, so when people walked in, was this kind of like the main little sitting area, the living room?
Yes, this was the sitting area. This is where everybody comes and they just have a nice little family time. They sit there and they can play. We have games.
They've added some modern amenities because the Hampton Inn took
Yes.
over, so you bought the house itself.
Yes.
So there's a little key fob. You can actually put your key in to come inside.
That's right.
No
yes.
turnkey anymore.
No turnkey anymore. So there are some modern conveniences just because we know that people still like that modern type feel.
Well, a little bit of a modern feel.
That's
All right,
right.
so we're walking in here. What about the kitchen? Now this must be a place that people love to see.
They love this the most, actually. Guests love to come in here the most. They say it takes them back in time when things were simple. So, and it brightens up the day. It feels cozy and warm.
I have to ask this question. What did we walk through his bedroom? Where was his bedroom?
Andy Griffith's bedroom. Let's go take a look at it. It's right
Okay.
this way. This was Andy's bedroom.
You're kidding me.
No, this was it right here. This is where
Wait,
he slept
you-
and
this
spent
is-
his days.
Oh my gosh, it's so little. Well, he was a little boy, I guess, huh?
Yeah, he was, and people then weren't as tall and
I'm not that
long
tall
as
either, but this one's still. Whoa! That's amazing.
Yes.
Do people sleep? Do people like to sleep in here? so
They
that
like it
feel-
just because of the feel. They know it was Andy's room.
Well, if Herb, our cameraman, stayed in here, his legs would be sticking out the doorway here. He wouldn't even be able to fit. This is pretty awesome, though,
Yes.
to see something like this. So, how many people do you normally let stay here at one time? Five people.
Yes,
I love it. Now, this is an addition here that they've added on.
it is. That was the back porch, and they closed it in and made it into a bedroom so that we can fit those 5 people in here.
Well, I'm sure this place books up frequently,
Absolutely.
so you got to get on the ball with this. And did they
As
book
soon
through
as
you?
possible, they just call the Hampton Inn in Mount Airy and they make the reservations. We do, like this month, the month of July, we booked every night except for 3 nights, and that was July the 18th, July the 25th, and July the 30th. Every other night was booked. Believe it or
This
not.
place, okay, so it books fast. You got to get on it. But if this is booked, I do have another place for you to stay. There is nothing that screams more Mayberry than Mayberry Motor Inn here in Mount Airy, and I have found the Aunt B of our modern day Mayberry, Elma. Thank you so much for having us here today.
My pleasure.
Now, what makes this, obviously the lodge itself is something that attracts people, but this room in particular is very special to you.
Yes, it is.
It is Aunt B's
It's
belongings.
Yes, it is. I bought it at the sale in 1990, her estate sale.
When people come and stay at the motel here, they are able to come into the room.
I will, anytime that I'm available, I'll show it to them.
So this is just one more place that you can come and stay when you're here in Mount Airy and
Right.
really get the whole Mayberry experience.
That's right, and people can feel right at home.
I love it. And we're gonna have much more from our trip to Yadkin Valley after this. Welcome back to our road trip to Yadkin Valley. We are now at one of the most beautiful locations in the valley, I must say, but I wouldn't even say we're in the valley right now because we're up so high. I have Ranger Nick with me. We're at Pilot Mountain State Park. Thank you for having us here today. This is by far the most beautiful sight I swear I've ever seen.
Well, thank you for coming out today. It's great for you to be here today.
Now, we are part of what mountain chain is this that we're part of?
This is the Saratown Mountain Chain. So Pilot Mountain, Saratown Mountain, and Hanging Rock are the 3 mountains in the Saratown Mountain Chain. We're actually separate from the Appalachians here. This mountain chain was uplifted roughly 500 million years ago, and it's eroded down to what you see here today.
Wow, so now you can see this pinnacle here for miles and miles and miles, I'm sure.
Yes, absolutely. This mountain has been used as a landmark for a very long time. It's been used for early settlers to navigate their way on the Great Wagon Trail when they're coming from points north of here, like Pennsylvania. When you come over the Virginia Blue Ridge, you can see this mountain and know you're entering into North Carolina. And also, the Native Americans in this area also used it as a landmark also.
Now, how did this maintain itself when everything else kind of eroded away around it? Is that, I mean...
Well, it's all a result of this really hard quartzite rock that you see here. This rock that forms the pinnacle and the little pinnacle we're standing on is very hard and erosion resistant. So all the softer soil has kind of washed away and exposed this really hard rock, which is very hard to erode.
Now, how far are we above sea level, or at least?
We're roughly 2,200 feet above sea level here. The top of the big pinnacle is 2,420 feet above sea level.
It is amazing. This is just absolutely breathtaking. To look at this, I can't even imagine what it's like, but people do hike this entire thing. I did not do that, I'll tell you that right now, I will own up to it. But people hike this entire mountain?
Absolutely. Yeah, we have roughly 25 miles of hiking trails split between the mountain and a section that we have on the river. 13 miles of that also is used for horseback riding. We have trails that start at the bottom and come all the way up, or you can start at the summit parking lot where you park today and hike around the pinnacle.
And cheat just a little bit. So if someone were to want to come here, I mean, would it take the entire day if they want to start from the bottom?
Oh, probably not. You could hike the Grindstone Trail. It's 3 miles from the office. It'd probably take you an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Yeah. Now, what else? So obviously you have hiking. You mentioned horse. You can ride horses,
you can ride horses
down here. What else?
We have a family campground on the mountain. We also have a canoe campground on the Yadkin River. There's a lot of rock climbing that happens here. Plenty of sightseeing. A lot of people just like to come up, take a break from their drive, and just walk around and check out these overlooks.
It's unbelievable. I would think that, you know, and with this, I know the Andy Griffith show, there's references to Pilot Mountain in it.
Yes.
For you, knowing that connection, that's pretty cool too, huh?
Yeah, we have a lot of people that stop here as they're visiting Mount Airy and seeing the whole downtown Mayberry thing, and a lot of people ask about whether Mount Pilot was based on this area, and from what I've heard from people, that it probably was kind of loosely based on Pilot Mountain.
Now, is there any fee for someone to want to come up here and hike, or is camping there maybe a fee?
There's a fee for camping. It's $20 a night. Unless you're a senior citizen, then it's $15. But as far as access to the park and just hiking, it's completely free. There's no entrance fee or anything.
It's stunning. Well worth a trip when you come to Yadkin Valley to make this a stop, especially if you're the active type that wants to get out and just explore nature.
Absolutely.
Nick, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We are stepping inside of a studio known for some of the most intricate craftsmanship around the world. Right after this. Welcome back to our road trip to Yadkin Valley. It is about tasting some delicious wine while you're down here. And here at the Old North State Winery, it's a little different because you're right in the middle of town. Joel, this is a pretty unique setting for a winery.
It sure is. We're fortunate to be downtown Mount Airy. We have a lot of things to offer downtown. So
obviously you're right downtown. Where's the vineyard?
We have a vineyard here in Mount Airy that we just constructed a couple of years ago. And we also have a vineyard in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, which is the eastern part of the state. We do have to purchase some. We try to support the Yadkin Valley and support North Carolina as much as we can. We're very self-supportive of the state.
So, all right, it's time to get down dirty here and have a little bit of fun, because I know you have that side of you. He's being all professional right now.
Let's party.
Let's party.
Let's get this party started.
Let's talk about some of the great wines that you have here.
Sure. This, like you said, my name's Joel, and this is our Restless Soul.
Here he goes.
So this is a Malbec Tannat Cab Sauv blend, and also, if you see on the bottle, it also has a human arm displayed, and there's kind of a nice story that goes along with that. There's been stories about this building being haunted. And in the early 1800s, this was a hardware store. Mount Airy's home to the largest open-faced granite quarry in the world. So, the biggest selling commodity here was dynamite. The neighboring building was a hardware store also. I don't think they got along about the account. They blew the building up, to make a long story short.
It's not good.
So, in the early 1900s, Belk Department Store came in here and renovated it to be a department store. While they were removing the debris downstairs, they actually found a human arm.
Ooh.
And this is the arm that they found. So, that being said, we named the spirit Restless Soul, and when you manufacture alcohol, you can keep a spirit fairly happy for an extended period of time. So, we've had several paranormal teams come in here and do their investigation.
I was going to ask,
and they all yielded positive results.
Really?
Yes, they did.
Have you yourself heard or seen anything?
I'm sometimes the first one here. When my office was downstairs, you could always hear carts rolling and hear all kinds of activity. However, no one was here. So at first it was a little nerve-wracking, and then I realized by 11 o'clock he was usually inebriated enough not to worry about it.
Well, whatever he did have an involvement in this tastes delicious. Would you consider this a full body type of wine?
I would. More of a full body red. You know, it's not, I think it's about 1% residual sugar. So it's a lot of our wines, we have a lot to offer for people with so many different tastes. So
And-
from sweet to dry, red to white, we have something
So let's check out one of these other ones then. I see here you have a lot of this Fish Hippie. Is this your line, Fish Hippie?
Fish Hippie is an outdoor apparel company. It's the finer side of outdoor living. And we're just fortunate enough to bottle their wine and be a part of that part of their business, and just really excited to be a part of it.
Well, what one would you recommend I try on the white side?
I think we're going to try the Fish Hippie Bare Bones,
All right, this one.
which
Dry
is
white,
a
like that.
Chardonnay Riesling Vidal Blanc blend. Stainless steel, there's no oak in this one. So it's really nice, especially on a nice hot day like this. I don't know what the temperature is in Ohio today, but I'm sure we'll figure out here soon, won't we?
I love this. All right. These both are extremely good. What makes your grapes or the wines? I mean, it really is known for how delicious your wine is down here. Why do you think it stands out so much?
Well, we put a lot of love in it. I think it's love and caring about what it is that we're doing. And not only that, we really care about what we offer the public. So we're excited for everyone to come in, and the most important thing is for them to feel at home when they get here.
So just like you made me feel at home the moment I walked in the door, he will harass you just a little bit, but it's all in good fun, that's for sure.
Well, I'm just glad you enjoyed it.
This is delicious. I must say, let's see, which one do you think I should go home with? You're gonna have to ship it to me. I can't carry this in my luggage.
We can ship to Ohio. I will load a box truck up for you if you want me to.
All right, keep that in mind, guys. He'll load box trucks up there for you. Oh, I just got
It'll be
myself
a
in
lot.
trouble. Thanks so much, Joel.
Thank you.
Cheers. I have brought you to one of the coolest, most unique places you're going to find when you come to Yadkin Valley. We are at Harris Leather and Silverworks. I have Eddie with me here. It's a brother duo that we got going on. Your brother Phil, hard at work back there. We're gonna visit him in just a bit, but this is their masterpiece is what I see in front of me right now.
Well, we are the premier custom saddle makers in the country, and on the East Coast particularly. We're kind of unique in our area. Not a lot of saddle makers and silversmiths in this area, really, but that's what we've done here for close to 40 years now.
Now I'm looking at these things and my mind is blown. What does it take to put something like this together? I know it's a lot of hours, I'm sure.
It is. If one individual knew how to do all the silver work and all the leather work that goes into making a saddle, depending on the complexity, it could take probably 2.5 months.
Wow. It's no wonder that you're so well known. You're really well known in Ohio too, aren't you?
Exactly. We spend a lot of time in Ohio, and we have a lot of great customers in Ohio. Yes.
You go up to Columbus mainly, right? You have.
We do. We go to the All-American Quarter Horse Congress in Columbus. We're there for almost a month. It's the world's largest horse show. Yes, we have great friends in Ohio. Our success has been due to our focus on quality and U.S. manufacturing and our ability to customize. We are highly known as people who can customize a saddle or a bridle or a halter for people that show quarter horses, and we're known all over the world for that. We do logos, custom designs, we build to fit, we build to the customer specifications, and basically the sky's the limit. This is artwork. This is artwork to a high degree.
It truly is. I know you have a lot of guys, including your brother, working back there, making this happen. So let's go back and see how it's done. Take me through the process. I know it starts as one big cowhide.
It does. We buy grade A feedlot steers from the Midwest, and we get all of our material in, our leather in big sides, cowhides, steer hides, and our silver comes in 6 by 36 inch sheets. So we basically start with a cowhide and a piece of sterling silver.
And then it starts transforming into this magical work of art. I know upstairs here, what are they doing?
These guys are building saddles here. They're working on the seats, the swells, and starting out with a tree. This is the actual saddle tree here. These come in different sizes depending on the customization and the size of the customer. And this is the ground seat, and it goes from there, depending on what the customer orders.
Is that what your brother, we found Phil.
Yes.
What's he doing over here?
I'm actually working on a jewelry box lid.
Oh,
Something
is that
a
for
little
me?
different is for you.
I had a feeling. You knew I was coming,
It's
right?
your parting gift.
There we go. There we go. It's incredible to see these guys so hard at work here. And as we go down the line, it kind of shows you further along in the process here, right? What would they be doing up here?
These guys are putting the skirts and the jockey seat on the saddles here, and as well as the suede seat that goes in here. This is the jockey seat here. This is the swell, the silver horn. This is the cantle. And basically they're putting all the parts and pieces together here and making them fit.
I know you have some great guys working downstairs putting all of the intricate detailing on. Mm-hmm. How does that work?
Everything, all the saddles that we manufacture are hand carved, and they're carved to a high degree of complexity in the leather to the customer specifications. It involves a rawhide mallet and hundreds of little custom-made tools to basically stamp the design into the leather.
So I know we've been looking at saddles a lot, but you have a lot of other products that you offer to people. I saw the spurs. What else?
We do. We manufacture bridles, spurs, show halters, custom belts. We make a lot of sterling silver belt buckles for business people, professional people, cowboys, people from the whole gamut of life. So yeah, we make a lot of different products here.
You see the name here, so you see that logo. Everybody knows you guys. It's a pretty amazing thing.
Well, thank you.
Thank you so much.
We're glad you folks came today. Phil and I are delighted to have you in our shop in North Carolina. Yeah.
You're so kind.
Up next, the place where wine meets classical music.
Welcome back. It is time to explore the outdoors. We are in the historic village of Rockford. Yadkin River Adventures is what it's all about today. And Paul, you're taking us out on the water.
Yes, we are. We're going on a short trip today. One of a few that we run. We run 2, 4, and 6 hour trips here. So we're going to do a short trip. We're going to take you over a few little swifts and a few little rapids. We might even get the blood pumping just a little bit, but for the most part, we're going to be out here in nature the way God intended.
You know, this is such a great activity for kids and families to get involved in.
That's exactly what we're about here at Yadkin River Adventures. We are a full service, meaning that we provide everything, your boat, paddle, PFD, and transportation for the whole family. We can accommodate kids in the little kids boats like you see up top here, all the way up to the full-blown 12-foot kayaks.
So how does it work? Do they have to call in advance? Do they make sure they just book? Because like you said, you have everything here waiting for them.
Sure, we'd like to have some heads up that you're coming, but spur of the moment's not a problem. If you give us a little heads up, that way we can have the boats cleaned up, loaded up, and ready to go when you get here.
Now, does it matter how many people you want to bring? Is there a limit? Do you have to have at least a certain amount?
No, large groups are not a problem. We can accommodate up to 75 at one time. So if you've got a church group or a school group or whatever group, bring them on. We can take care of them. And we'll run as few of 1 or 100, whatever it takes, we're here for it.
So what's the whole idea and I guess the theme behind what you guys do here? You obviously do the kayaking. Is it more of just an outdoor adventures type of thing in general?
Well, it's a way of kind of disconnecting, if you will. These days, kids are always in front of the TV screen, either through video games or through television. So this is a way to check out a little bit because, we didn't plan it this way, but there's no cell phone service on the river. So anyway, it's a way to kind of put those away and just enjoy what's out here.
So what can you bring with you out on the river? Can you pack up a little cooler maybe, and so you can have some drinks and? Absolutely, and we encourage that. If nothing else, through the general store over there, we'll be glad to pack you a cooler with a cold sandwich, cold knee highs, and grape drinks and orange drinks, whatever your fancy is, and we provide the cooler and even some ice for you. So how long would it normally, so a couple hours I guess would be the shortest one, so it just depends, you would just do different loading on points depending on how long of a trip you wanted? Sure, you can stay out there all day, but the way we run our trips is, we shuttle you in the boats upriver, we get you on the water, and it's your day. You come down as fast as you want, slow as you want, stop as many times as you want.
We have families that'll go out at 9 o'clock in the morning and I won't see them till 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Really?
They have a whole day out there.
I love kayaking, and I know it's a great family fun thing to do. And get out there and, like you said, bring a little cooler with you. And while you're at the general store, there's one thing I think everybody has to get.
What's that?
Sonkers.
Absolutely.
So you can't leave without getting some of the delicious sonkers that your wife makes, right?
Yeah, she's in there now, right now. So
she's cooking away. Make sure you get a sonker and enjoy the outdoors here at Yadkin River Adventures. Thanks, Paul.
Come on down.
We are continuing to explore the beautiful vineyards here in Yadkin Valley. We are now at Adagio Vineyards, where Tim and Jan have really put this together in a matter of, what, a year or so you've been up and running?
We opened a year ago.
Which I think one of the most interesting things about the two of you is this is just kind of a second thing for you. You also were both dentists.
Still are.
And still practicing dentists.
Still practicing.
So how do you manage to find time to open a winery on top of that?
This was a 10-year dream. We planted our vineyard in 2005. We have been growing grapes. We finally decided it's time to make this transition, and it's just a passion.
Your vineyards, how many varieties of grapes do you grow?
We grow 4 varieties of grapes. We buy from some of our neighbors' grapes as well. So we're using about half and half right now. We grow a Merlot, an Arundel, which is a new hybrid red grape. We grow Chardonnay and Traminette, which is also a hybrid of a Gewürztraminer, German style.
Now, which ones have you poured for me today?
This is our Traminette. This is our 2014. This is 94% Traminette, just a touch of Chardonnay, and just a touch of Muscat as well.
Well, that has a nice sweetness to it.
It's got a little floral character and
very delicious.
Smooth.
When you're deciding which grapes and which types you want to actually produce, what was in the process for you? As far, did you go with your favorites, or how did you decide that?
We started with our favorites. Chardonnay is one of our favorites. Merlot. They don't grow as well sometimes here because of the cold. So the hybrids, like the Traminette, grows wonderful and nothing bothers it. And it's a unique flavor, unique grape.
Interesting to know. And then the second one?
Second one is a French varietal Bordeaux blend. This is our new Harmony, and it is named for Harmon Farms, which we bought some of the grapes from. It is 50% Merlot and 50% Petit Verdot.
Oh, that's delicious as well. What about with these two here?
These are 2 of our previous vintages. Our Chacon, which means variation on a theme, is a blend of Merlot, Tannat, and Petit Verdot, a little lighter style. And this is our dessert style wine called Coda, which means the finish. And it's also a Traminette blend, but it's got a little citrus character to it.
Now, I'd ask you where the name of the winery came from, but I know it is, Adagio is a musical term, and your wife being the musician that she is, I have to find her here and maybe even make her play for me a little bit.
She could probably be convinced.
Okay. Wow, listen to that. Jan, so nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you.
You have played in an orchestra before.
I have. In Florida, I played for the Brevard Symphony for 20 plus years.
Wow, and you are also a dentist, as your husband mentioned. So how have you both found the time for this?
There are only 24 hours in a day, and I use about 23 of them.
I can only imagine. Now, I know a lot of the wines your husband had said to me before are musical terms.
Yes.
So you really have incorporated your passion into this.
From the name of the vineyard, Adagio, through the names of our wines, and just the ability to play music and enjoy music here all the time.
So when people come in and have a nice glass of wine, do they hear you play?
Sometimes
really?
I play. Absolutely.
Now, what have you not only do you play, but you also create instruments, more so for decoration?
No.
They work. They will all work.
I made this
You
violin.
made that one?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
It's remarkable. Now, do you think eventually someday you might, because they're so gorgeous, do you think you might end up selling them?
I'm sure I will, because how many violins can one person have?
Now, you're here 4 days a week open for people to come and enjoy
Yes, we are.
the great wine. And you have wine tastings as well?
We do. We have 6 wines that we are tasting right now.
Beautiful time to come, enjoy the weather down here, and sit down and relax and hear some wonderful music as you enjoy that wine. I'll let you play us out if that's okay with you.
All right.
All right, grab that violin again, and we'll be back with much more from Yadkin Valley after this.
students actually have juice and they learn how to go ahead and ferment wine.
Welcome back to our road trip to Yadkin Valley. You know, you don't just have to stay here for a little getaway. You can come and be part of Surry Community College at their viticulture and enology program. I have instructor David with me. Before we get into anything, what does that necessarily mean?
We're the premier East Coast facility for enology and viticulture teaching. So we're a teaching facility, we have our own winery and we have our own vineyard right here on campus. And we teach students how to produce wine and how to grow grapes.
Okay, so viticulture is the
process of growing grapes.
Okay.
And then enology is the process of making wine.
And this is a premier winemaking facility.
Yeah, we have state-of-the-art equipment. We have classrooms right here on campus that are connected to our winery, so we can go back and forth between the two. We can actually go into our microbiology lab and we can propagate yeast. Students can go out into the vineyard. We have 7 acres currently right on campus. And they work with all of the different grapes. We've got 15 different varieties here, so we're testing out different varieties to see what works well for North Carolina.
That's amazing. Now, I know this is a huge facility. This being, which room is this that we're in right now?
We're in the fermentation area. So if you look over, we can see our tanks, and we've got 268-gallon tanks and 513-gallon tanks, and those are for white and red fermentations respectively.
And what are all those scary looking tools that I see?
So these are just clamps. These are just clamps that connect to the different ball valves.
Oh, okay,
and so we can connect hoses and transfer things.
So not that scary. But then you also have some of your product already bottled here?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a cool project that we did for the 50th anniversary of the college. We started actually a sparkling wine program. So we do all of our own champagne method sparkling wine. So students learn that, and we're the only ones on the East Coast that teach that.
Now, millions of dollars went into really making this possible here.
Yeah, this is a $5 million facility.
That's incredible. Now, here's where they actually do some of the, you can see some of the work here that they've done. You actually do the labeling as well?
Yeah, we do labeling, and then behind you we have our own bottling line. So we'll actually just pump directly from our tank into our bottling line over here. And when for the finished product, and they'll come out the side here, and we'll take it, and the students will label it. All of our red wines go through a 2-year aging process. So we've got 2-year wines in here. We've got about 30 barrels from French, American style to Hungarian as well. And then on the side there, you see all of our riddling racks where we've got sparkling wine being aged as well.
If people want to sample some of this, is there a way that when they come down to visit, they could try some of your great wine?
Sure, so for Surry cellars, we don't have a tasting room on campus.
Okay.
But we sell it in Lowe's Foods in the area. So we've got it in Dobson, in Mount Airy, and then as well in Winston-Salem.
Well, I would say it's definitely a must to grab a bottle because I do hear that they are award-winning wines that you have.
Yeah, we've won over 19 medals over the past year just in regional competitions as well as national and international.
Pretty impressive. David, thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you.
We'll grab a bottle of wine on the way out.
Okay.
Gonna wrap things up with a nice glass of wine here in Yadkin Valley. Okay, so it is about 6 to 7 hours if you want to drive down here. Take 77 South, easy as pie. If you want to fly, you can fly too, but I suggest bringing your car because then you can drive around to all these great vineyards, head to the outdoor adventure areas and do all of your shopping and then have enough space to pack everything up and bring it all home with you. I'm Natalie Herbick and I'll see you on the next New Day Cleveland.